I love painting messy scenes. I also really love painting mundane scenes. And a comment I get a lot, you're all aware of that probably, is why did you choose to paint this? Or you have the ability to make a weird subject that looks like an everyday boring thing look good. And I think that's precisely why some of my paintings work. And today I want to share with you some of these recent paintings and why they work. And stay tuned at least till the middle of the video, because I'm going to share with you something upcoming that some of you might find really, really exciting. So let's get to it. We'll get started with this Road to Krabi. So I painted this. You saw probably snippets of it on social media. A painting from our recent travels to Thailand. This was like a long taxi ride, and we did a lot of like a van taxi, and we did a lot of stops. And it was a messy way, a messy road, a messy trip. But I captured this photo of this scene that made it all pretty worth it. We also took a ferry. It was a mess. Now, the reason I think this kind of scene works really well for a painting, and I'm going to dive a little deeper soon on why some scenes work for me and some don't work as well, is specifically because of that contrast between the nature, the beautiful mountain, that was the thing initially attracting me to paint this, and then this messiness of wires and cables running across, and all. Of course, there are some characteristics like this motorcycle. That's a very kind of East Asia, and just a lot of you just see a lot of motorcycles. Vietnam was kind of similar, by the way, motorcycles everywhere. So it's the kind of scene that immediately registers as fascinating. When I see a scene that's maybe a little too clean and too organized, something in my subconscious sometimes rejects it, and the result isn't as well. It isn't as good. Now, being there is a big part of it. Me being there, seeing this, actually this view. Now, I want to share with you another scene from Thailand. So we'll do this one in a moment. And that was, I forgot the name of the place, but you know, it's the kind of scene that kind of scares you. It's messy. Now, I thrive in that mess. That's me. Whenever I jump into a painting and start from some point, somewhere, kind of random, and let me get all of these out of the way. Let's keep it organized to some extent. When I dive into a scene head first and just let it happen and develop in front of my eyes, I actually do better than these beautiful scenes that require you to kind of follow a stricter path, if that makes sense. Now, when you look at this, and let me hold it up to the camera, this portion right here, look at all these where it just flew through there was an orange, and through the black, it just flew down to the shadow because everything was connected, and I started with these oranges and darks. And that kind of a thing really speaks to me, and I really enjoy painting. Now, there's a lot of clever stuff going on here that I notice, and whenever I notice them, I know it will translate to a good painting, okay? And some of the paintings I'm going to show you are those I'm most proud of myself this year, and it tends to be the messy subject matter. I don't know why, it just happens. So one of my favorite things about this that I noticed was these trees and how they follow an interesting pattern of light to dark, colorful to more neutral. I really wanted to capture that. This is a picture I knew I would paint the moment I snapped it. These red windows really attracted me to it. Another one from Thailand, and you know, you see this kind of a thing, totally makes it like a reference gathering vacation almost. I rarely paint plein air on vacation, but I often like to take pictures. Okay, now here's another one. You've seen me paint this on YouTube, and you can see the process. I dove in. This is, to me, this is the best way to paint. I just get started somewhere. This was a more traditional structure of a painting. I did start with an initial wash covering the whole thing, but very fast it turned into this explorative process where I explore. This was done actually when I took our car to the garage, and it was really early morning. It was other cars. It was just a lovely scene. And you know, these chilly mornings, right? Because the next scene is going to have a similar element to it that I want to show you. This chilly morning, you know, there's a lot of trucks on the road, a lot of people starting their longer journeys early in the morning, people going to work. It's such a nice time of day. I really like it. And I want to show you a scene that's a little nostalgic for me, because I went through my photo reel on my phone and figured out where it's from. Now I have shared this one I shared this one in a relatively recent video, but I've seen this is from around 2016, 17, if I'm not mistaken. The original picture I took, and it's messy, right? There's a lot of kind of opaque paint and fixing mistakes, and this bit here that I absolutely love. See, this splashes of opaque paint that work really, really well. This actually reminds me of the time I had like a 9-to-5 for about a year. I worked for a tech company, tier 1 technical support. I have no degree, so that's what I got. And a friend was working there, and it was nice for a year. And those were our early mornings. I'd go pick him up. He lived close by, and we'd go. My shift would start at 7. He could arrive whenever he wanted, but it was more fun to go together. So we both went together. And I remember one time we went out late. It was like, Independence Day or something like this. Went out late, stayed up all night, and around 6:30 got in the car. Like the most irresponsible thing I ever did, because I usually am very scared to do these things. Now I was awake, but still, it was very irresponsible. Went in the car and drove with 0 hours of sleep. It was a stupid thing to do. I was like adrenaline filled, and I had coffee and everything, but like never again, unless like there's a zombie apocalypse. I'm not doing that kind of a thing again. And this was our rides, and you'd see the sun slowly coming up, depending on the season, and it immediately throws me back there. And you know what? Like this does a lot of the heavy lifting. These highlights on this pickup truck, a lot of it reflects whatever you see here in the sky, and I really like the sky. The sky colors are actually, it's hard sometimes to really show you the true color of an orange. That it can happen. Like this is a very specific orange. Sometimes it looks too red when I scan this painting. Sometimes when I film it too. Sometimes it looks too yellow. It's hard to find the right balance. But in real life, it looks the best. Now I do want to mention something real quick. I'm gonna tease something, right? I have shown you these two paintings too recently. Okay, so in a couple of days, I'm gonna open up something special, and I want you to be a part of it. Only if you're a collector of art. If you purchase paintings, if you collect art, if you don't mind investing in something that's a little higher price point, I would recommend you click the first link in the description box below and opt in to the exclusive collectors list. What I'm gonna do is 4 times a year, I'm gonna drop some of my best paintings, the ones I'm most proud of, to be exclusively available to purchase there, and only there. It's not gonna be sold through the auction house locally here. It's not gonna go out on my online gallery, just through that list. It's gonna be up for a couple of days and then back down to my vault, because a lot of these paintings, I will admit, are hard to part with. And once in a while I'm in the mood, or I need to clean the studio a bit, and I'm like, you know what? This painting was done for a reason, and it deserves to make someone happy and be in their home, in their collection, in their office, wherever it's going to be, in their offices, wherever it is. So, when this time comes, I want to give you access. But the only way to get access is going to be in the future through that list. Okay, so click the first link in the description box below, fill up your details. These are the types of paintings, again, it's very hard for me to part with, usually, like this one too. I have another one, work in progress, that's going to be like this. I can feel it too. You can't even see the whole thing because it's pretty large, but I'm working on it on and off. You've seen it before. These kinds of paintings, whenever I'm in the mood, I'm going to drop them. Otherwise, they go back to my private collection, probably not to be sold in the near future. So if you do want to get access to these, check it out. Put your details. You'll get a quick email back. Okay? Now, I do want to move on to the last one. And this is, how should I say it? It's the god of all messes. This has been, and you can see the process on YouTube. The more explorative processes, I don't know how to say it, they just work better for me. It might be my thing, right? And if you're trying to learn watercolor painting, this may be the most important tip. I'm going to share this video for you. You have to kind of figure out what works for you. Sometimes a very beautiful, pretty, traditionally pretty scene can work for a lot of people, but I'm kind of not like that. I need the mess, and I need to explore within the mess to find the path. The more I can explore and find the path and kind of slowly build it up, the better the result tends to be. And the more room I have to do that. Night scenes give a unique opportunity to do that, or even these kinds of scenes, because there's a lot of exploration done in the shadows and in the highlights. And you see the result of these explorations is, look at this beautiful red. It's too strong to even be captured properly on the camera. You can see it here a little better. You see this kind of an orange. By the way, this one too might register a little better in that camera. See, in the upper camera as compared to this camera. And all of this, like these slight see granulations, all sorts of effects, and painting black, wet, and wet on pure red, like right here, is what makes this scene beautiful. This is right now, it sits in my personal vault, in my personal collection, not looking to part with it anytime soon. So, you know, there are these paintings. It's a little hard. Now, if I get the right offer, of course I will, but it has to be the right offer. But when, you know, when I look at these kinds of paintings, I would say even the simpler ones, you know, the simplicity in these, let me get rid of these for a second. The simplicity in these is the winner to me. It is the very simplicity that makes these special. It's kind of, if you've ever painted plein air, look at a painting you painted plein air like a year ago. It's going to have some charm to you, even if you consider it a failure or not that good. It's going to have some charm to you, and it's the emotional attachment, right? It's the emotional connection. It doesn't really matter what's there. It can be messy, it can be simple, it can be complex, it can be, you know, whatever it is, but if the connection is there, it's there. Nothing will break it. Same goes for these types of scenes that I put more in the messy category, right? Look at how messy this is. I'm just making sure the things are in the crop, right? Look at this roof through the other camera, right? Can you see it? And all of this area. I mean, the colors are pretty good looking in this one too. You know, just foliage and kind of trapping the light is what I talked about, right? Trapping, closing up all the lights and trapping it right here. And this more explorative process that is, you know, to me, one of the more unique ones. So I hope you enjoyed kind of hearing my thoughts and my story behind some of these paintings. This was once again like a late night drive through a highway, huge traffic as you get close to the city. Really takes you back to that moment, you know. This is, by the way, close to where we live. I will talk more about it soon, especially if you opt into that to that list. I will mention a few more details about this one and about this sunset one, you know. The thing it captures is so, to me, emotionally captivating, and not all paintings do that to me like this. You know, a lot of paintings, in fact, don't. But these are some of the ones I'm most proud of for this year. So I do want to thank you for watching and for listening. Hopefully you've gained something out of this, whether you just enjoy the art, whether you want to paint and make the art yourself, whether you're just kind of appreciating the medium, but you paint a different one. That's also something that happens a lot. I have a lot of people who go in and out between oils and watercolors. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. And if you want to get into the inner circle for the collectors, click the link, put your details down there. It's kind of opening up a window to something I don't normally share. So thank you so much for watching. I do want to thank everyone who supports me over on Patreon, by the way. If you want to receive credits at the end of the videos, check that out. Thank you so much for watching, commenting. Really, really appreciate it. You know, the past couple of years have been challenging ones in many different ways. And having you here and being able to communicate with you is huge. That's why I started this channel. I just really enjoy sharing the art and the process behind it. And, you know, otherwise there wouldn't be like, I don't know how many, 15, 16, 1700 videos in this channel now, on this channel now. So yes, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It was my birthday a couple of days ago. I mentioned it, I think, in the previous video, or April 13th. So thank you for all who did wish me a happy birthday. I will see you in the next video.